What's up, gang? It's your boy Sensei Glove, the bald head black anime nerd, back with my review of One Piece manga chapter 1099. Pacifist. I know I didn't give y'all a chapter review last chapter, but I'm back. Just did a live reaction on Twitch. I want you guys to make sure you subscribe to my Twitch or follow me on Twitch so you will know when I'm gonna do reactions. I also do some other content on there. I game on there, do JJK reactions on there. I don't know if the episode's gonna be coming out today or not, but I wanted to bring back my chapter live reactions, man. We're about to be 1,100 chapters in. Now that I got my Twitch up and running, I said, why not? I would do it on YouTube, but I kind of don't want to mess up my algorithms right now, so we here. You know what I'm saying? Happy Thanksgiving to anybody if you're watching this on Thanksgiving, or if this goes up on Thanksgiving. If not, happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope you are eating well or have eaten well, and you are drunk or will be drunk or have been drunk and you are now hungover. So shout out to y'all. This has been a very decent chapter, a very amazing backstory. But real quick, before I get into my review of the chapter, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when I drop videos, because I be dropping them shit. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel so, you know what I'm saying, y'all can fuck with the kid and you get notified about when I'm doing dope shit. You hear me? So chapter starts off with the last one. Ended, obviously, we figured out that Bonnie is not the child of Kuma. That was from last chapter. She's not the child of Kuma. She is the child of Jenny, however, and who I presume to be a celestial dragon that we will be introduced to later on. Chapter starts off from there. The king of the Sorbet Kingdom is basically trying to destroy the southern part of his country to mimic a different country over east. I believe it's the same country that Luffy, Sabo, and Ace was at when they kind of did that whole burning of the country thing when Dragon came through and saved everybody. They trying to do something similar to that. Kuma wasn't having it. He blew up the entire castle and basically really messed up the king. And this is how he became known as the tyrannical king, because they immediately made him king after it. Obviously, the city doesn't look at him as a tyrant because everybody knows he's the good guy, but the world government caught wind of it, and you know how they're gonna spin the story to make it seem like what they want to seem like. The old king essentially wants to come back, reclaim his throne. Kuma understands that it's not gonna be pretty, so he decides to leave. This is how he becomes a pirate. He leaves, he attacks the Marines that are about to show up with the king. He sunk the entire armada, became a pirate, got a bounty. And at that point, he decided, I really need to be trying to focus on finding a cure for Bonnie. Obviously, Bonnie, we learned in the last chapter, Bonnie has an uncurable disease where she can't step out into the sun, or her skin is gonna basically turn into rocks or some shit. So he's been trying to find a disease. He lied to her and said she will no longer have the disease at 10, but he didn't really know that for sure. So he's trying to make it happen. In the chapter, we see him go to different places. All of these places that he went to, ironically or not so ironically, are the places that he sent the Straw Hats when he sent them in different directions. So Oda really just cooked. Like, Oda is really just a genius, bro. Like, he's a genius, and there is not a single anime in the history of anime with world building this good. It's not. It's just not. There is not a single one with world building this good. Like, for him to connect those ties like that, like, this is why Kuma sent them to these places, because he knew that they would thrive in these environments. He went to those places looking for a cure. He went there for the same shit, but got different experiences from each one, and he kind of put it on. We saw the kingdom that Zoro was at. We saw where Chopper was, where Usopp was, where Nami was, where Robin was, that fucking bridge in the snow. We saw the place where Vegapunk was, like one of his old offices where they sent Frankie. We seen all of that. I'm like, wow, he like really tied this shit together. So shout out Oda on that part. But eventually he linked back up with Dragon while he was sailing. Dragon pulled up on him in there. You know, they had a little chat. It was this beautiful spread of them sitting down, kind of just chatting on some like where we are in life type thing. And I wanted to speak to this real quick before I continue. You niggas really trash with how y'all was really dissing my boy Dragon about not sliding for the homies. Like, gang, he's not a pirate. He's not a Marine. He's not a pirate. He's not any of that shit. He operates outside of those means. Like, pirates are the pull up and slide for my nigga type. Like, he's militant as hell. Like, the nigga, he has an agenda. His goals and aspirations extend beyond just a member of the Revolutionary Army getting captured or something. Now, again, if somebody under him decides to take on different values, that's cool. But again, everybody knows what they signed up for. So he will never send anybody on a suicide mission or on a mission to just retrieve a member because they was tweaking. Like they messed up on their mission and got captured. So now I need to go save them. No, if we can save them, we can save them. So even in this chapter, he talks about how Ivankov and another person got captured and got sent to prison. They got captured by the Marines and sent to prison. But he's not gonna pull, you know what I mean? Like he's not about to storm Impel Down to try to get these two niggas back. He's not a pirate. Like his dreams and aspirations are bigger than that. Like it's a sacrifice that always needs to be made, and they know exactly what it is. That's why none of them is mad at Dragon for not coming to get them or not sliding. You know what I mean? So all y'all was tweaking. But Dragon tells Kuma, yeah, nah, it's this nigga who he gonna be moving. Because obviously we understood from Vegapunk's backstory that Dragon and Vegapunk met after the Ohara incident. So Dragon knows. So he said one of his labs just got destroyed. He's going to be moving labs. His security detail is going to be slight, so you can pull up on him and maybe he'll be able to help you. At this point, Kuma pulls up on Vegapunk, and Vegapunk just casually says, oh yeah, no, I can cure it. That's simple work for me, you know what I mean? But the cost is kind of high. Obviously, Kuma has no money, but Vegapunk is baffled at the fact that he is a buccaneer. He's the last of his race, presumably. He's like, man, can I study your blood? Can I get a sample of your blood? I really want to make a clone of you. So here comes the plot of how the pacifistas, which is a play on a pacifist, which is actually super crazy to think about, became a thing. Vegapunk's idea was for him to make a bodyguard, obviously for the Marines, but to protect the weak and helpless. But it's essentially going to be a weapon, as we know, that is going to be made for war. How efficient can it kill people is how the government looks at it. Like, that's really it. It's less about protecting the weak and more about killing the opposition. So we get into that. Obviously, the trade-off is I will cure her if you let me get a sample of your blood for cloning research. And of course, without hesitation, Kuma's like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, it'll do anything to save this girl. You know what I mean? I would make a deal with the devil himself, is what he says, if it meant saving Bonnie's life. So essentially, he's going to save Bonnie, but the chapter ends there with a little note that Saturn was made aware of the conversation between Vegapunk and Kuma. So what I believe in the next chapter, we're probably going to get an incident on what will soon be Egghead, or will later be known as Egghead, is going to be something that either kills Kuma, the Kuma that we know right now, and Vegapunk in liking him, or, you know what I mean, having feelings for him. The Kuma that we're introduced in Thriller Bark will be a new Kuma that Vegapunk just made, because obviously what we're looking at right now is 2 or 3 years prior to the start of the story. That's it, really. That's just 2 years prior to. The Kuma that we're looking at is probably going to die, which is the only thing that makes sense for why Bonnie thinks that Saturn killed Kuma. She must have watched him die, watched him be killed. But the one that we saw probably has his memories, or his memories in Devil Fruit. Obviously, we know Vegapunk has been working on a way to transfer Devil Fruits with the Seraphim. He succeeded in that with the Seraphim. But he made the Kuma body more cyborgy so it could withhold and put its memories and Devil Fruit inside of it so he knows who he is. And he's essentially still himself, but he's not himself. And he understands this is what he signed up for. So I think that's what's going to happen in the future. And just really quick, I want to do a video for like top 5 best backstories or saddest backstories or best backstories in One Piece. But honestly, this is top 2. And I'm really having a hard time keeping it at 2 because this man had a very sad life. All the downs were worse than the last, and his goods were so short-lived that it's insane. But the fact that he has the goods in between, and the fact that what we knew about Kuma prior to the backstory, and now that we have the context of the backstory, makes it even sadder because his life has not panned out in any successful way at all. He went back to being a slave. Literally, some of the saddest shit ever. But yes, we're gonna talk about that later. But overall, I love the chapter. It was a great chapter. It seems like next chapter is probably gonna be the final chapter of this backstory, because there's really not much space that needs to be filled between the start of the story and now, and then what we just ended on this chapter. So yeah, I think it was great. This backstory has been amazing. Like Bonnie's character, we saw Bonnie get her Devil Fruit in this chapter, which is kind of crazy, and she was learning how to use it, which is interesting, but we did get the confirmation that she's essentially or a 12-year-old in a 24-year-old's body. So that's kind of interesting. I don't really want to, get too deep into that, but it is what it is. But yes, overall, a great chapter. I'm excited for next week. There is no break. Like, comment, subscribe. Fuck with the kids, Sensei Lay Glove. Follow me on Twitter at Sensei Lay Glove. Follow me on Instagram at Sensei Lay Glove. Follow me on Twitch at Sensei Lay Glove because I'll be doing shit on there as well. Definitely make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe if you can, if you got the Brunette. Other than that, man, Sensei Lay Glove is out.